mucho gusto to people I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And gracias. You heard all my español. That's it. Muchas gracias. I think what Juan was telling you was, for me, as a man who turns 50 this year, to be in Ibiza is very exciting. It's a brand that everybody knows. If you're gay, you hear about Ibiza. I went to Ibiza. Ibiza, it's cool. It's Ibiza, Ibiza. And they go, oh, the clubs. Oh yeah, everybody gives you, come to the club, come to the club, come to my club. I walk along the street. In front of me, some young people. Come to the club, come to the club. I come. So, when you turn 50, you know. But it's interesting. Let's have a look, because the key word I want to take from today is diversity. So I'm an older gay man, a traveller. 15 years ago, maybe I would have more energy to go to the club, and a lot of the LGBT market want clubbing. But they want much more as well, as we'll see. So I would like to say hola, and to share with you very quickly what's out now is. We are primarily an LGBT specialist consulting firm. We work in these 5 areas. You see in Spanish also. It's been a long journey with our business. We were set up in 1992 in Australia when I was 27, and I would have been asked to go to the club. In 2001, we expanded into Europe, and we are now global. We work over this time with a lot of different companies and a lot of non-government organisations and educational institutions as well. I think I want to make one starting point. When we began our business, we were a gay marketing company. It was very easy. Gay marketing, that's what we did. It covered women, it covered men, it was gay marketing. It changed. In the mid-90s, it became gay and lesbian marketing. And then in the late 90s, it became a little more correct to say lesbian and gay marketing. And then sometime around the noughties, around 2000, early 2000s, it became LGBT for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. Today, in most English-speaking countries, the most common acronym or letters is LGBT. And in some places, you see more. So we have L, which is for lesbians, women who fall in love with other women. G usually means gay men, but some women don't like the word lesbian and prefer to be known as a gay woman. B, bisexual, a man or a woman who can fall in love with a woman or a man, either. T, this one is different. T is a gender identity. So if you go to the mirror and you look in the mirror and you inside your head, I think to myself, I'm a man. So when I go to the mirror, I should see a man look at me. But if I think inside my heart and spirit, I know I'm a woman. But in the mirror, a man is looking at me, something isn't right for me. This is transgender. It is a gender identity issue. And it can be different. A trans person may be a woman who feels that really, this woman feels that he is a man. And so he may dress as a man, or it may be a man who feels that she is a woman. She may dress as a woman. Maybe she will have surgery to become a woman. It's possible. But T is transgender, so you could be trans and heterosexual. Or you could be trans and bisexual, gay, or lesbian, depending upon your true gender identity. Just to confuse everyone, and then I'll stop, I is for intersex. Intersex people are born, when the baby is born, the genitals could be part male and part female. And this is known as intersex. It is more common than we may think. Q is for queer or questioning. In the USA, you'll often see LGBTQ at the moment. In Australia's market, you see LGBTI. These things differ country by country. The last one is A for allies. These are heterosexual people who like to support their work colleagues, their family, and their friends who happen to be LGBT. But I have a good solution. It starts to get like a gay bacon lettuce tomato sandwich, a gay BLT, and I don't think that's right. I think what we should remember is every time we see one of these letters, it's a person. So LGBT spells people. It's your family member, it's your friend, it's your work colleague, it's people. That's all. LGBT spells people. And it's very important. It affects our work. Everything we do is thinking of LGBT people as your customer, but thinking as they think of themselves, just as a regular person going about every day. Stop and think about where we live. We live on an island in Ibiza if we're based here. It's like a bubble. When you're on an island, this is the world for a day. The tourists come, they love it, they can be in the Ibiza bubble. But remember, it's not that they're coming here. Remember where they come from. When they come to you as an LGBT person. So if you go to google.com and if you type in LGBT people are, these are the most common search results in the world for what other people are looking when they search for this phrase. So gay people are wrong. Gay people are gross. LGBT people are soulless and self-destructive. That's the most common search in the world for LGBT people. Gay people need... That's not so good. Okay, maybe some optimism. Gay people should rise up and feel wonderful. So, we know on this island that this is a very welcoming place. I feel it, I know it. Before I come, I'm not so sure. When I book a hotel, I'm not so sure. When I check into the hotel, and the lady checking me in looks like my auntie Gwenny, who's a lovely lady, but she maybe isn't the most... my auntie Gwenny is very accepting. I'm sorry if they're recording this. Gwenny, you're wonderful. She loves LGBT. But you come with your past. It's not just where the guest is coming to, it's where they're coming from. So before we look at some travel data, I'm going to take a look at some work and life data to bring a picture of what it's like as they approach you and check in a hotel. Outnow does several things. One of the things we do is networking. We have a B2B networking part of our Outnow business class system, and everybody is welcome to join. If you make sure I have your card, I'll send you an email with a link, and you can become a member. It's a free service that we have. It allows businesses to find other businesses all around the world to see if they can do business. It's something we think the industry benefits from, and we're very pleased to provide it. It's called Outnow Business Class, and that's our B2B component. This gives me a 2-minute water break, and it lets you see something interesting. When we built Outnow Business Class, we wanted to highlight that it's about people. So we decided that we would promote this brand with nothing but people. And we said, I've got to pick some people Google me. So of course we Googled gay people, gay LGBT person, who do we find? When we set up our company in 1992, if I tried to play this video, it would probably be about 10 seconds long, because nobody was out. Very few people were openly gay. But now, this is what it looks like. This is, as of 2 years ago, this is what it looked like. There's a lot more we can add since. So I like that, and we like to remind our tourism clients that it's about your customer. I only caught the end of the roundtable, and one of the things with Out Now is we're quite agnostic. We work with travel agents and tour operators, we work with mainstream hotel chains, we work with small LGBT boutique specialists, we work with tourism officers, but we always think like an LGBT customer. And the reality of business is there is a piece of the market for every player, and the challenge is to work out where the pieces fit and make the best possible match for each person in the marketplace with the right customers. And that's what we try to do. In order to do that, one of the most important things to start is with research. Since 1992, we carry out the world's longest continuing global research program. Since 2010, we took it international. It's now in 14 languages, everything from Hebrew to Turkish to Korean. We have this research, we ask the same questions in every country. We have 24 data countries now with 3 different sets of data from 2010, 2012, 2014. Every one of our 100,000 plus respondents were asked where they would like to travel, including would they like to come here to Ibiza. So we will see some data from people who would like to come to Ibiza in just a moment. In terms of how big is the market for LGBT, the best metric that we recommend is using a study from 1993 called Yankelovich. I have no time now, but if you're interested, I can explain later their methodology. It's the most sound, correct methodology of how to measure sexual orientation within a community. And they found 5.8% of the US community in 1993 were willing to confidentially identify as being gay / lesbian / homosexual. It didn't even count bisexual transgender. That's why we are comfortable for our work to use 6% as our benchmark. Okay, LGBT spells people. It's not a lifestyle, it's a life. Everybody has different things. LGBT people are not just going to super clubs in Ibiza. They're doing many things. They're choosing where to eat. They're choosing how to pay for their children's school fees. And many lesbians are mothers, and an increasing number of gay men are parents. So the family market has applicability into LGBT. As I said, it doesn't matter that they're coming to a great gay welcoming place. They're nervous because of their day-to-day life. It's where they are coming from. Well, why would you feel that way? Okay, this is from a report we released called LGBT Diversity Shown in the Business Case. We asked 10 different countries, how out are you at work? So in the USA, in 2014, 21% of all Americans will go to work today and they will be completely in the closet. They will not tell one person that they are LGBT. And at the other end of the scale, in the UK the figure is 17%. At the other end of the scale, only 38% of Americans are comfortable to be out with everyone in the office. And in the UK the figure is 5%. And stop and think about what that means. So this person is now your guest. They're coming to your restaurant, your bar, your hotel. They don't know you. They found you through a great German LGBT travel agent specialist. Then they probably have comfort because they know that this person does a good job. But if they look on the internet, then they're wondering, is this a good choice? So that's when you come to other issues. How can we prove to the customer that it's okay for them to be themselves? Because this is their day. This is what it's normally like for them. In Mexico, for example, only 27% of people feel they can be out of the closet, meaning open to everybody. That's in their workplace. In the UK, a common problem people hear at work, they hear other people use this phrase, that's so gay, to be negative. And it's kind of funny, but it's sort of a little bit ouch too. Because if I was, I'm Australian, if suddenly that's so Australian, it became an insult, which maybe it should be, but it would make me feel, ow, that hurts a little. Other issues that happen at work, people are asked questions about their sex life, they hear the word fag. This is a transgender respondent, or a person talking about transgender people. They heard at work a man said he would not let his daughter use a bathroom if a transgender female was in there, as dad didn't want him waving his penis in her face. These are some of the findings in this free report, LGBT diversity shown in the business case. If you'd like a copy, let me know. Make sure I have your card. I'll send you a link. You can download this for free. I want to come now to this issue. This is life. So I'm in Mexico. 12% of the Mexican LGBT community in 2014 were harassed by their neighbours. 1 in 8 had a problem with the person living next door relating to them being LGBT. And 16%, even more, were actually refused goods or services in the last year. So this is important for us to remember when we provide goods and services. Here's an example of something that can go wrong for the hotel sector in just this area. I hope the audio will be okay, and I apologise, it's in English only, but you can ask me questions and we'll find a way. I'm not surprised that Gavin and Nick declined the offer of free room with the Thistle Hotels, because if you read the statement they put out to the media, we are not prepared to decide who is wrong until we hear both sides of the story. So a customer has felt homophobia at the depths. They're so angry they've gone to the media. You're now on the BBC News and across Twitter, and your response is not to say, we apologise wholeheartedly, this is a mistake, we're going to look into it, it will never happen again. You're going to try and fight back. That's not the right approach. If a mistake happens, own it, fix it, move along. So that is what not to do. We asked a question in the latest LGBT 2020 research, this is from the US sample. When you travel, to what extent can the legal situation for local LGBT people affect where you decide to go to spend your holiday money? So this is how well are LGBT people treated locally, and we see it's extremely important. This person on the right lives in a conservative area, and it's important to them to feel comfortable being able to hold his husband's hand or give him a kiss without judgment is an important part of a vacation for us. These people are voting with their money. When we then ask this question, to what extent the legal situation affects where you spend your travel dollar, This is the result for the USA. And in the USA, LGBT tourism market spends almost $56 billion every year. And 38% of that money is now, to a great extent, being directed to destinations who are supporting LGBT people most effectively. So, this one, the audio is not so good, I may stop it really quick. Effectively what's happening here is there's an American couple. I happened to be having dinner and annoyingly did some work over dinner and asked them, they were telling me a story what it felt like to check into their hotel in Prague. And I was telling them what my company does, and they told me what it felt like checking into a big 5-star hotel in the centre of Europe, that they were quite nervous about what would happen. And why?
Most places in the States will assume that two men sitting in a room are friends, and therefore they'll be held like two different guys. It's hard to assume that we're in the States for that.
I think we at first, they had to first get offered us the two double beds, and we had to plus one bed. Exactly. It was right.
In the States? Yeah, in the States. Because in the States, then you have to let them know that, hey, I actually just want one bed for two guys. And then you feel that, well, you're going to get a shit room. They said that we all that great, but then we eat some nice results and you're coming out.
So they're worried that they'll be treated like a second-class citizen in case the person checking them in doesn't like gay people. It's not so good, but it's also understandable. If you have a particular invisible part of yourself that has to become visible at check-in, there's two men, there's one bed, it's fairly visible to everyone standing at the counter, then it affects you. So we asked a question, to what extent do you agree that you generally seek out LGBT welcoming hotels, and by that we refer to well-trained staff, looking for places with good staff training? We see in different countries it's more important than others. In the USA, 56% of the market strongly agree they're looking to have good customer, genuine welcoming when they stay in hotels. And this is the percentage for agree. So when we add the two together, we can see this is a very important component of the market. It's 86% of the US market are concerned. It's 80% of the UK market. There are the other people who are less concerned, and they may choose on other factors. But certainly this is a factor. If you can position a hotel to be more LGBT welcoming than its competitor, you have a potential advantage. What we do is we do training and certification for properties. This, for example, is Latin American consultant Andres. And so for the Spanish speakers amongst us, I thought I would give you a small relief from all English. And Andres will tell you how we do training in Latin America.
Hola, mi nombre es Andrés, soy de Guadalajara, México, y soy el consultor de habla para América Latina. Trabajo en ámbito de los medios de capacitación para AMA y SLAS en la región. También trabajamos en el estudio de investigación LGBT referente para fortalecer para que muestre de representatividad LGBT en México y en toda la región de América Latina. En adición a esto, AMA trabaja en América Latina para ayudar a nuestros clientes a alcanzar el mercado de consumo LGBT, el cual es el de más rápido crecimiento del mundo y cada vez más importante para gran número de empresas. Espero hablar con ustedes pronto. Gracias.
So Andres is a really great asset for what we do. This was him training in 2013, a large designer cafe in Puerto Vallarta. We trained all their staff on LGBT sensitivity. This was him training a collection of 50 managers at JW Marriott in Cancun. So what we do with our business class training is we provide sensitivity training to managers with a particular focus today on social media. What to do in the 10 seconds that you have to decide when something happens. Somebody approaches the manager with something that happened at the bar, at the restaurant, at the pool. It relates to an LGBT person, maybe with someone who didn't like what they saw. And the question is, what does the manager say next? Because that next 10 seconds determines whether in 5 minutes you're going to be trending on Twitter. And it's very important that the manager has the right policy and the right approach whether it be an LGBT issue or a non-LGBT issue, but to keep the brand and the hotel safe. So that's what we do at management level on sensitivity training, and then for all staff working in customer-facing areas, we provide online training through our business class training section. This is basically answering the question, will I feel welcomed? From the autumn, we will then be taking all of the training hotels who are training staff and listing them on a new consumer-facing website, which is called welcome.lgbt, which will be bookable through the Expedia network. Something that happened yesterday, and I hope if you all have a moment, you might be kind enough to give us 10 minutes to participate. We're actually going to use that domain name, welcome.lgbt, to do some good work before we launch our consumer-facing site. We launched yesterday an industry research study. It's the first time the industry has been asked to give their opinion about LGBT travel business. So you'll find there's only 10 minutes worth of questioning there. If you go to welcome.lgbt, you will find you'll be able to fill in this survey. This was from yesterday, some of the media coverage about the launch of that. So it's www.welcome.lgbt, and you'll be able to fill in that research. I hope it will give us 10 minutes. That's till June the 30th. We'll be releasing all the findings in a report at World Travel Market in London in November. Each November we host an LGBT village, along with some much appreciated partners. We'll be back bigger and better this year at London WTM. We were very delighted last year when Carmen, your tourism minister, was kind enough to visit us at the LGBT village, and we were also extremely grateful for the tourism office support and also for Dirk's support from the local hostel, who were partners in our event. I want to show you a quick communications case study. So once you've done your research, you understand how to match your product to your target group of consumers. And you should pick the cluster that makes most sense to your business. Once you've done that, that's when you move to communications. And you look at how you communicate that you have such a good product and such a good match with your target audience. This is a quick case study from Visit Britain. It was a campaign from 2014. It was in the US market. Out Now was the creative agency. So we created the creative concepts. We came up with the heading "Love is Great" as the theme for the whole campaign. It launched on the same day as marriage equality happened in the UK. It had a core market focus in the US, and it was the first LGBT campaign that Visit Britain had undertaken since 2010. It was a big success. One of the differences they faced was that social media is a very new and effective channel which we needed to incorporate into our approach. It had to be high impact, relevant and viral. It succeeded in many ways because it was coinciding with marriage equality. We had the media looking for something good to report upon, which they did. One of the tricky parts was that the tagline, "Love is Great," had to go all the way to number 10 Downing Street to be approved by the Prime Minister's office, which was kind of strange. Normally our work doesn't go quite that high, but it did. We also linked with some key partners to help make sure that the campaign wasn't just a London campaign, and that we had focus on different parts of the region. This is some of the creative. We took original photography. There were only 1 or 2 stock shots, but most of it was original work. And it was very effective. So that's something you do after you've done training and after you've done research. Speaking of research, people often say, how big is the LGBT travel market? According to the LGBT 2020 study, the top markets across the world in terms of LGBT tourism, you're looking at a market which easily exceeds $200 billion of annual spend. Some of the key markets we see here are the USA, Mexico, Germany, France, UK, Italy, Spain. In terms of our research, we asked people, where do you want to travel to in the next 3 years? So these are the country rankings. We see that Spain has gone down since 2 years earlier, but it is still in the top 10. It's ranked at number 8 amongst these countries. In terms of Ibiza, we asked people what percentage of people would like to visit Ibiza. Now, we need to be careful how we interpret this data. The question is, in the next 3 years, which of the following, with a big list of places, would you like to visit? So it's quite a big list. So the fact that they click on Ibiza says something good, because they had to actively pick it up and choose yes amongst all the other choices. So that's good. If all of these people in the next 3 years come, this is what we predict would be the maximum over 3 years inbound for Ibiza from the LGBT market. But the big if is how many of them will come. And that's a function of how well everyone does what they do, how well you target your product to the consumer and you find a match to make Ibiza a choice that they actually spend money on. But the numbers are encouraging. 16% of the UK samples say they want to come to Ibiza. So that's 512,000 LGBT adults. 12% of the German market would like to come to Ibiza, and 11% of the US market would like to visit Ibiza during the next 3 years. That's 1.8 million people. So there is some good work to do in developing just those 3 key markets alone. There's almost 3 million people there. Okay, the top 3 reasons, I must say also, this varies country by country. So what I did for today was just took a quick snapshot across the various markets, but these generally are the top 3 for people who say they'd like to come to Ibiza. And number 1 is dining. And number 2 is beaches. And number 3 is LGBT nightlife. Don't forget, this is across all the respondents. So if you talk to me as 50-year-old gay marketing consultant, if you got me 15 years ago, LGBT nightlife would have been a clear number 1 to me. But today, it's probably about right. This is probably the order that someone like me might choose. So across the entire sample, this is what we see. So it doesn't mean LGBT nightlife is not important. What it means is you need to have a tactical approach. I was listening at the end about the discussion about whether we should go very targeted and vertical, just an LGBT silo of what activity, or whether we should be incorporating it generally. The honest answer is, to be the best in the world today, you should be doing both. The LGBT consumer wants to function in 2 ways when they visit you. They want to be gay when they want to be gay. So if they want to find information about LGBT nightlife, they need it, and they need it in the hotel from the concierge. They need to have an easy, safe way to get there, to get back, information on safety, information on do's and don'ts, things to watch out for, and then they want to have a great time. But then in the morning, they want to explore the history, the culture, the museums, they want to find a great restaurant, and they want to go to the beach. So you should be focusing on both. The danger when you say, we're going to incorporate it into our mainstream marketing, the danger is it becomes invisible. You can do both very well, and I have a quick example from Fort Lauderdale, because the clock will beat me, so let me kick on. I'll quickly show you the way Berlin does this very, very well. I'm proud to say they've been an outbound client since 2002. What they do is not easy. Berlin have jumped up 10 places over the last 4 years in the top 20 listed destinations for LGBT people globally. That's a huge and hard accomplishment. Here's how they did it. They're committed. They don't just come in 1 year and disappear for 3 years because somebody's job changed in the tourism department. We have had 4 different key people, and every time there's an effective handover so that we keep doing our work, they keep. Think like a customer. The customer doesn't know the manager changed. The customer just knows Berlin is still in the marketplace again with another great new campaign. It's hard work, but it's worth doing. If we look here, this was last year, we had Pink Pillow roadshows. We trained all of their hotels in the training program. They then become certified and are listed as Pink Pillow properties. We took a roadshow showing the industry in Brussels and in Amsterdam, how well Berlin was doing to network B2B. This year in October, we're taking that same roadshow to Warsaw in Poland. We've previously taken it to London, Manchester, and Brighton as well. They deliver on the promise. All of the local hotels sign up to a Pink Pillow charter, and they support local LGBT groups. They also undertake training. We certify them as a result. But they really mean it. They don't just want the pink dollar. They do. They definitely do. But they want to earn it, and they do. They put in the effort. We provide training for them, and this is the way that we do the training online. What we sell with training is not so much training as peace of mind. It's a little bit like the people who sell cosmetics. They say that what they sell in cosmetics is hope. It's not the cream. So in this case, we sell peace of mind for the customer so they can check in and feel comfortable That's the hardest part, is the knowledge quiz. It's awful. It's really, really hard. It's 8 little questions, and the point of the quiz is to make you think. And there's always one answer that you know is wrong, but there's 3 that are not sure. When we see the results, if someone gets 8 out of 8, it's possible they cheated, because it's really quite difficult. It's not about getting 8 out of 8 in the final quiz. It's about thinking about the issues and talking about it together. This is one of the Spanish language students. I would read it out in Spanish, but you've already heard of all the stuff. We do in other screens, we look at why this matters, the fact that it's good business. We have other practical advice, what terms you should use when speaking to an LGBT person partner, and that is the key term. You should be careful not to use girlfriend or husband or wife, or worst of all, don't say friend if you know they're a couple, because you send a signal that perhaps you're not comfortable with their relationship, even though you may be. But to choose the word partner is neutral and safe. It works very well. This is important for younger staff members. Often a 21-year-old heterosexual university student may be working on reception, and a 50-year-old man like me might approach him and ask for a gay map. And I can assure you I do not want anything from this man except a gay map. But at the moment when a 50-year-old gay man approaches a 21-year-old heterosexual man, the danger is that he might do this. I want a gay map. And he may think that I'm attracted to him. If a gay customer reveals that they're gay to you, it doesn't mean they're attracted to you, it means they trust you. This is good for your customer service relationship. And we teach this to all of the people doing the training, so at that instant, when that young man has that moment, he's comfortable, he's smiling, his body language reflects that fact, and it's good for the customer to see that this person is absolutely comfortable to help him to find a gay travel map. It's a small but significant moment in the relationship which the training addresses. We've trained a lot of staff around the world. This is for Patricia Trejo from Marriott. We've trained more than 800 of the Marriott team, that's from Cancun alone. We've also trained for Marriott right across Mexico and other destinations. This is the Pink Pillow Berlin, we're in the training course. We certify in our own program, our own travel, soon to become welcome LGBT, as I mentioned. This was certificates being handed out in Puerto Vallarta last year for people who've done the training. Quite a few different destinations down that way. This is to show you, I'm getting my line up, so I'm going to go really fast now. This is to answer the question, do we do just LGBT, or do we do it in the mainstream as well? And the best answer is do both. Here's a great example from Fort Lauderdale. This is a piece that they have that you can watch on YouTube. So in this case, everyone was LGBT. Fort Lauderdale have done some great work. You can check it out for yourself at sunny.org/LGBT. But then, for all of us in the community who saw that on LGBT media channels, social media, we saw it on YouTube, this is what they put on the mainstream American TV at the same time. So the nice thing is that we feel included, we don't feel excluded, we don't feel we're treated any differently, we're just a part of the big picture. But it's done in a very sympathetic and understanding way. Okay, in closing, don't forget, if you want to become a member of our business class for B2B networking, then we can sort that out. Just make sure I have your card. This stuff that happens in there. There's video, information videos, conference webinars, case studies. One of the most important things is the network tab. That's where you can click and do searches on keywords of geography, find other businesses around the world who maybe can help your business. And for LGBT sensitivity training, that is a small charge for property, which I can tell you about. It's not a lot. It doesn't matter how many people you train. It's just €99 a year. And you can be listed in welcome.lgbt and certified and be bookable as well. This is the welcome.lgbt website, which launches in the fall. And the most important question, will I feel welcome? Think like a customer. This is saying how fabulous we are at joining dots and building strategy to help sell more product by matching product with consumers. And that summarises everything that we talked about. And in closing, I think I could have possibly closed better than this. It's in Spanish, which is a bonus. But if you want to understand why we say LGBT spells people and why that's important, this commercial is like looking into the future. So of course it's a bank, everybody hates banks, that's fine, except it's nice. I mean, it's about people, and it's about change, and it's about understanding that LGBT spells people. I think with all the flashing I get from the back of the room, that's the best slide I could end on, except if you want to contact me at all, that's my email address, ian.johnson@outnowconsulting.com. It's wrong there, sorry. There's no dot between the outnow and the consulting. I will admonish myself later. The last thing to say is muchas gracias.